Well, welcome to the Great White Open Mic. This is your host, Martin Murray, and with me today is a very special guest and dear friend of mine, Mr. Honest John Comerford. He has been a friend and open mic jammer with me for, I don't know, the last at least 5 years is my guess, but maybe longer. And yeah, John, very good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Martin. It's so fabulous to be here. And as I was saying, I just drove by the old Mojo Lounge where you hosted that open mic, which was such an unbelievably fantastic event. So congratulations on the new podcast. You're just the man for the job. And I think I'd like to talk to you about a lot of things tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I did get a chance to listen to your new album that it looks like you just released on May 8th. And
Yes.
it's pretty incredible. And obviously,
Thank you.
The big discussion factor, I think, is this new technological advancement of AI and what it gives you, the creative juices it gives you in your fingertips. But not only that, but just the tools that you have at your fingertips to expand on your ideas, because you and I have played, two acoustic guitars and sung on a lot of those songs for years. But now listening to it, it sounds like a full country, band is behind you. Tell me what you thought about that and when you discovered it, what you think about AI and music.
2 weeks ago, listen to this. So I've been a songwriter all my life, and mostly it's just, you sit there with a guitar and a voice into an iPhone. I'm a little bit more than an iPhone. I got a, recording software, but basically rather primitive, not like a professional level. To get a professional level, you got to do something like that, and then you got to go to a studio and hire musicians for thousands of dollars to, for like each song, and that's tough. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I just stumbled upon this YouTube video where this guy was showing how to, something like that, roughly take the track that you made, and you've done your best. And I've always done my best. I was about ready to release this album with pre-AI, totally
Right.
pre-AI, and I was proud of it. I had worked hard. And then
Do you have a version of it pre-AI, and were you recording?
I do, but I haven't released it with that. Because I thought the AI, not all these tracks, there's 14 tracks on this album, not all of them I used AI. AI is this program. The program is called Suno. That's the big music program. It's like the music equivalent of ChatGPT or Claude, I guess. Yeah. So I don't want to sound like
I was just introduced to it a few months ago, and it kind of blew me away. I have a nephew
it blew
who music.
So 2 weeks. I saw this guy's video, and he put his track just like I had. Basic, voice, guitar, maybe a little backing track. I had a little technology, but nothing fancy. And so I had tracks like him. So I said, wow. So I went to the website and tried it out, and boom. It's like, okay, you got me. I'm sold. You made it sound better. End of story, for me. Now here's the issue. Okay, there's two kinds of, I'm taking this from YouTube videos, so don't think I'm an expert, but generative AI is when you just do nothing. And they're talking about, you go to ChatGPT and say, write me a song about cowboy love, and it'll write the whole song for you.
Yeah.
Then you roll it over to Suno, hey, write some music. Boom, you got a song, and apparently 60,000 new songs are put on the internet every day, and a large number of them are this so-called generative assisted AI. Now, there are things that I see on the internet, I don't think you can get copyright for things that you haven't done anything with, whereas my songs, there is copyright. And so, I don't want to get into heavy legal issues, but there are heavy legal issues to the point where this program, Suno, how does it know? If you listen to my songs, like the tracks, it's got steel guitar in there and banjo. I didn't do that,
Well, that's what I was going to ask. There's some really great solos in there. Are those not you?
They're not me. I'm sorry to say they're not. But who is it? Well, here's who it is. Suno has apparently collected the information, I don't get this exactly, but anyway, it studied all the past music
Hmm.
and kind of put it together, so it's got the best of the best. And it affected my voice too, I think. I mean, I had to read into it. It just it takes the song and makes it up. Well, I put my tracks in there, and the thing comes, and all this prompt comes up, and it explains my song while it's downloading. Oh, this is 110 beats per minute, male baritone singer with acoustic guitar. And it's like, oh my God, really, seriously? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you could, and if you want, you can change it. So you have a lot of power. Is my point. Now I didn't, so I just put in my songs and said, boom, let me hear what you think, and it made these tracks, which I thought were better. So, but the issue is, like I just explained, generative AI, where people do nothing. And then there's assisted AI, which is like what I did. Well, okay, so the internet is ablaze with this right now.
It's a big discussion on the internet, and I mean, I follow it on Twitter, which now called X, I guess, but there's a lot of heat going back and forth of what is art, what is music from AI, does it lack soul and any kind of.
Well, that's going to be a fun discussion for God years, if not decades to come.
Yeah. Until the robots kill us off.
But here's the thing about that program. If you look into terms and conditions, my understanding is you use the paid version, and it just helps. Like for me, it just basically put in some background music. I wrote the music, I wrote the lyrics, I wrote everything. I did the original. But it put in the band that I would have to pay thousands and thousands. I have to go to Nashville or LA and find a band that good. But it's as good because, like I just said, it just kind of, so it's got lawsuits. The 3 big music companies sued it, this program, because they're saying you stole our music, you stole our knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. So it's wild to watch the kind of technological frontier advance, because you're not seeing the law or any policies keep up with how fast technology is advancing, right? Like, I felt that way about self-driving cars. Like, I couldn't believe that self-driving cars were even allowed on the road, but it was like,
hey, up until a month ago, I thought like Google search. I used to, hey, what do we need? If we already got Google search,
right?
Wikipedia, what's AI? And then I kind of stumbled on. I mean, I had tried ChatGPT. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Didn't think that much about it. But then I stumbled into this program, and all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, AI is powerful. Like, wow, that's my feeling right now. And as far as the music goes, hey, I'm all for it. If you can make my songs, because I'm a songwriter, I always have been. And
that's an interesting thing that I want to ask actually about, is because you are a songwriter. You've been writing songs, I would imagine, for a great deal of your life.
Yes.
And now stumbling upon this in your later years, maybe you can agree with me. I just remember in the wake of like listening to the radio and having a CD player, and then discovering things like you can download music and put it on a CD, that like rocked my world. That
me too.
I used to sit and wait for a song that I liked on the radio, and I would wait a whole night hoping that a song from
my God. I remember when I was young, we had 3 channels on TV, and like you had to go over and switch to knob. I love technology, so you go ahead and ask me your request. Go ahead.
So when you began, I guess what I really want to ask is, how did you get involved in music? Did your family play music? What was the tradition?
I grew up in a family of Dixieland piano players.
I love it.
So like when I was a little kid, it was like I was them. They were banging away, 5'2", eyes of blue, and all this kind of stuff. So, and even by the time I went to high school, it's like when I went to high school, it was like kind of in the late 60s, early 70s time, and people into rock and roll and stuff like that, Beatles, and I was still listening to Louis Armstrong and stuff like that. So I went through a lot of different musical styles. But I guess as far as writing, I was always more of in the folk style, me and a guitar. I always enjoyed, from the beginning, you see a guy with a guitar on stage. So this is the other side, away from AI music, away from recorded music. I feel like it's different. There's live, and then there's
Yes.
what you put on recordings.
100%.
Live, you're sitting there with a guitar with just you, or with some of your friends. They're in front of people. There's a real intimacy there. That
Mm-hmm.
recording is different. Recording is it's. I feel like I like it polished. It's recorded. People listen to it. A little polish, a little performance. But when you're live, it's whatever happens. It's right there. So
Well, and I feel like it can go disastrous, but it can also have like some real magic moments where
the magic moments are more than the disastrous ones, don't you think?
Yeah. No, I love it all, and I tend to like it a little bit more rough around the edges, and so I love that open mic feel of just like, oh yeah, I probably flubbed a few notes there in that solo, or I was a little flat on that harmony.
So those nights at the Mojo on, we were like with the ping pong table and stuff, the darts right in front of the bandstand. Those were hot fires we were forged in. I feel that was we learned a lot of stuff there, and you were the guy. I mean, my credit. I'm going to put on my credits that I played with the Martin Murray band at the Mojo Lounge.
That's right.
It was great. And so I meant to tell you. So I drove by there, and I just to kind of take a look at the big sign in front, and on the sign it said Monday night open mic comedy, and I'm thinking, comedy, really? They got a Monday night comedy night? So that's new. But anyway,
for a while, I don't know if you ever were present for it, but for a while I would also allow comedians to come up. But,
I saw some there.
Yeah, but it's always rough. It's always rough for them. Bar patrons can always ignore a crappy singer-songwriter that's chugging along through a song that's going too long. But whenever there's a comedian and they're bombing, the bar patrons like to get real vocal, real aggressive. So I was like, oh, this is not conducive to like the warm community vibe I'm going for here.
Well, you're up there naked when you're a comedian, and so that's stuff. I admire those guys. Do you ever see Rodney Dangerfield? You know who that is?
Yeah, I gotta get no respect.
I would get no respect. He was. Those are really great. I mean, he never cursed. He just take my wife, please.
Please.
He was funny. He was definitely funny. So
I love that.
Anyway.
I love that joke he has where it's like, when I was born, the doctor slapped my mother in the face.
Yeah, I still see on like YouTube or Facebook someplace. I still his videos for some reason come up, and I still see them. So at any rate, tomorrow Eddie has a show over at Our Freak Studio, and I am the featured guest. I think.
Oh, look at you! I have yet to go to that Art Freak in Fremont, but I hear it's all the rage. And next time I come out there, I definitely want to play a show.
Well, hang on a second. I'm gonna have to advise you. There's news. Apparently, the owner wants to cut down on the number of performances. I don't know how much, but I guess I'll find out more tomorrow when I go over there. But I guess it's just too much work for him, or something like that. So.
Yeah, it sounds like he was hosting music a lot.
He was the first one to use this AI stuff, because I know he's not a musician. And one day I just happened to be there, and he says, "Oh, listen to this song. I wrote it." And I listened. It's like a cowboy song that I never heard. And I said, "What do you mean you wrote it?" And he said, "I wrote the lyrics, and then I made it into music." And I thought, with a voice. And I thought, well, whose voice is that? And I knew nothing about AI, but now I realize that's what he had done. And so an example of a total non-musician, basically. But, so again.
Well, something interesting I literally just heard this week is that there are some companies who are going to start or working on licensing and being able to publish songs in famous people's voices, and then they get the royalties, or they get a cut, but you have to pay to use their voice, things like that, which would be wild. But like, you could write a song for Michael Jackson,
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra. And here's a
new my God, I saw some other stuff like
song featuring Frank Sinatra.
Well, you know, when you say that, you're talking about, I just saw a YouTube video about that. People steal the background of like American Idol or, you know, America's
Yeah.
Got Talent, and they put themselves up there. So it looks like they've been on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And they advertise it like that. And then they either sing their own song or they copy the song of a famous person sometimes. They're not even singing, they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And they put it on YouTube and as America's Got Talent. So on your podcast, you'll be able to kind of, you know, vet out honest, real musicians. So I'm glad to see it. You know, that's why I said we need people like you.
Well, you know what is exciting about hosting an open mic, and I don't even know how much you know, but I intend to host an actual real live open mic every season in a new location, and that's kind of the exciting part. But you can't.
New location means your new where you live.
Yeah, I'll probably host the first one or two in Utah, but I would love. I'm gonna definitely do one in California. I'd love to do one where my brother lives up in Oakland Hills. But I would also love to do one maybe in Fremont somewhere. But yeah,
open mics are so wonderful because you get such a variety of talent. It's just,
I love it.
Yeah. They're just great.
No, totally agree. And one of the things that I like is you can get a guy that's literally only played in his bedroom and he knows 3 chords and he wrote a little song or he's got a little cover song. And then the next person to go up is someone like you, who is just a seasoned vet and clearly trained in, jazz and just a rock solid songwriter and performer. And, you guys go one after the other. And then right after you is another, brand new guy on the strings or maybe another. We had that great guy that played just jazz, no singing that one night. And it's just, I love the.
You had so many.
Out for the love of music.
And a guy with a really high voice, he's still around.
I'm gonna have to find him and get him on this podcast too. I'd love to interview him and.
He had one heck of a voice, no doubt about it.
I know, and learn when he discovered he had that voice because that was incredible.
Well,
now I wanted to ask you your songwriting process. Where do you go when the?
Well, that's an interesting question. So
do you write lyrics first, or do you write chords? Do you write what do you do?
That's a great question, and I would have to say sometimes A and sometimes B. Sometimes sometimes you get a hook. Take my song "Delicate Flower." I mean, I was just thinking about things, and it's like, yeah, she was a delicate flower. And I wrote the song. And so I don't know where the chords come from, but somehow you can start with a hook, which is a good way to start, really.
Yeah.
And then you kind of expand on the words, and then you throw some chords in, some more words and some more chords. The next thing you know, you're ready to throw it into AI.
Yeah. I mean, now you can have a full studio album in a couple hours.
That's what this guy on YouTube was showing. He's like, that's why they're saying 60,000 new songs every day, and a large part of them by non-musicians, completely, totally generative. So it's kind of interesting, but that's the power of this thing. It's truly, I mean, you hear my songs. I mean, these are songs that I had recorded, over the years, and some new, some older, and I had my style. I mean, I had my, I was just going to put out an album of them, just a little demo album. And then 2 weeks ago, I saw this video and I said, wow, let me run my songs through that. And they came out better, in my opinion. What could I say? It's like, okay, thank you. I never changed anything. I just put them in there and said, go ahead and push the button, create. And it just did its thing, I mean,
it's not a long process either, right? It's just a few minutes maybe of creating.
Seconds. I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes 2 copies. And there are other programs too. I mean, I just happen to know this one, which is a big one. And
no, I know Suno's the most popular right now. And my nephew showed me this, and he spit out, he had like 10 different versions. He's like, look at this. I wrote this, and he showed me a little like lick on the piano and a melody that he sang. And then he goes, this is what it would sound like if it was a techno song. And here's what it would sound like if it was a country song. And here's like, What's
emo? I saw somebody on some video. I don't even know what these styles are.
Yeah.
but the program knows. It knows everything. It's
Yeah.
kind of scary. It knows everything. It's like, so it's sued by, so that company, I think I told you, it's sued by 3 of the biggest record companies for basically copyright infringement.
Yeah.
So,
I
and one of them
don't
is
know.
settled. One of them settled. So I mean,
It's almost like they've stolen so much. It's like how, like they've stole the totality of human creation in music. So like, how do you sue them? And who do
well,
they pay?
I wouldn't sue them because I like it. It makes my songs better, and that's all I want as a songwriter. As a songwriter, I want it. If you're going to put it live, you can do whatever you want. But if you're going to put it in a record, on the recording, got to be a little bit polished.
Yeah.
And so the thing
Well,
polishes
it gives us lowly musicians, from the ghettos who can't afford a $30,000 studio session, a chance to sound like the pros.
It does even the play field a lot,
Yeah.
not totally, but a lot, because they still got the advertising clout.
Yeah.
But it does a lot. But then it goes over the top. How about the people who don't do anything at all? Don't write no. I'm not saying
that's why I
that's
really
abuse.
like the open mic arm of this little project I start, because I love having conversations with musicians and artists and contributors and anyone that's in this space. But I think that live music doesn't lie, and I've heard a lot of great recorded songs before, and then I see them live, and I'm either blown away or I'm like, oh, they don't sound like a CD at all, or they don't sound like a recording at all.
Because hey, what CD hasn't been polished by? Now we got the AI programs, but they've always had backing programs and drum machines and all that kind of stuff.
And cleaning up and click tracks.
Yeah.
Even my recordings that I did, I had to pay out of pocket, and I had bought studio time, and I had real drums. But even in that scenario, my drummer at the time, he missed a few downbeats and kick drums. And
you weren't satisfied.
And he was able to just move them. He's like, oh yeah, this one's off beat. I'm just going to move it. He corrected it.
Do that.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Thought we were going to have to redo the whole thing.
So that's it. You go in the old days. I would have to go in. I have to record kind of live. I was doing guitar work, and you make one mistake. Oh, sorry, have to do it all over again. And I'm like, okay. End up recording the thing 10 times before you do it.
Yeah.
But
and
now,
you hate the song. By the time you're done with it, you're like, I don't even. That would be my experience. Is like, I don't even know if I want this on a CD anymore. Like, I just played it 13 times, and now I hate it.
Well, that's part of it. You take your rough recordings, with the fan whirring in the background and the construction outside. AI gets rid of it, and it just thank you. Like without you have I don't know, doing fancy EQ and stuff like that. You do the EQ. Now I master it later. I mastered all the tracks later after that, but it helps a lot, with EQ and all that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, it makes it easy. It can be, pushed a little far. I don't know if it, people who, use generative AI, I don't know if that's over the lot. But hey, do what you do. I don't mind. And and so
now,
there it is.
I would love to hear. I'd love to show the listeners maybe one of your favorite tracks from this album that you have. Is there a favorite that you want to listen to real quick?
Well, I always like Delicate Flower.
Nice. Let me cue that up, and we will listen to Delicate Flower and see how it goes.
Thank you.
Gardens of my memory, where I spend so much time. The colors so fantastic and the verses easily rhyme. Countless scenes of yesterdreams replay by the hour, and I'd just like to say before my thoughts start to stray, She was a delicate flower. Such a delicate flower. It was a time of great beginning, an era of delight. Rays were fold for love or gold, a revelation every night. Endless streams of libertines with money, dreams, and power. And all I can say at the end of the day, she was a delicate flower. Such a delicate flower. The winds of change just blow, there ain't no one to blame. I think of her most kindly, I hope she feels the same. Pray the sun may warm her cheek and the rain caress her brow. And I think I should say before I wander away, she was a delicate flower. Such a delicate flower. Some are meant for kings and queens, some just to survive. Seems about the same to me, happy just to be alive. I searched the deepest canyon floor and the highest ivory tower. So permit me to say, while I can if I may, she was a delicate flower. Such a delicate flower. Such a delicate flower.
Yeah, I think that is an incredible song, and I think that the AI behind it, I listened to it also earlier today, and I remember singing it with you on stage, and it feels a lot different on your recording than how
Totally.
you played it
I
before.
understand. I
But
understand it does.
it is an incredible song, and it's wild to me that you did that just in from your computer and just uploading your tracks, because it's just a wonderful production.
The AI production is not, it adds, some fancy licks here and there, like little background, but it's not so different from my original that I was just going to put on there. My original was just voice and guitar, period, end. It was just a little demo because I thought it was that kind of song. And AI made it a little fancy, so I said, yeah, okay, yeah, why not? So I use the AI version.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and
AI
it
knows how to make the song better.
Artists release, the AI version or maybe the AI assisted version, but then they also have like the raw acoustic version. I would love that in moving into the future of like, say if Paul Simon puts out a new album, I would love for him to be like, well, here's my ideas on an acoustic guitar and me singing, and then here's the full production version.
There's definitely a market for the your basic James Taylor voice and guitar if it's good enough and no AI, no fancy bands or nothing. I like that myself, but I think most people sort of like it more polished when they're when they're listening to the radio or something.
I would agree. Also, I think they like something to move to, and I tend to like a lot of. My wife always says, "Why do we always listen to sad music?" But it's usually acoustic guitars and singing and.
Well, acoustic guitars. I mean,
not a lot of upbeat, snares and kick drums.
Well, I'm a big. From my childhood, I'm an acoustic guitar man. Folk singer. I always consider myself a folk singer, and I always think folk singing kind of went back in two directions. There was the Pete Seeger type of direction where it was I don't want to say a little fluffy, but the Kumbaya type. And then there was, the Bob Dylan type where it got fairly rough and meaningful. I mean, the words were definitely more meaningful. And Woody Guthrie was in there, and of course Hank Williams. I mean, I genuflect to Hank Williams. I never get through a gig without playing Hank Williams songs. I was told once, whenever you're in trouble, just play a Hank Williams song. You'll be fine.
No, I loved it. That was actually one of the first things, because I remember bartending, and you came in, and I don't know if we had met yet, and you started playing a Hank Williams tune, and that just immediately brought me back to my grandpa loved Hank Williams tunes, and he would play them around his fireplace when I was learning how to play guitar at 12, 13 years old. And so I would, play those little chords with him, E, A, D, and E, and I loved it. And immediately I'm like, oh man, like I got to meet this guy. He's playing tunes that I haven't heard in years, and it's been, I think, a delightful friendship ever since.
We certainly did. We played. What's that song? I Saw the Light by Hank Williams, and all those Hank Williams.
Good Looking, is that Hank Williams?
Hey Good Looking, and Jambalaya. That's a 2-chord song. We played that probably.
Yep.
And those were fun times, you and me, and then somebody sitting on the cajon, and just the pool table playing.
I'd love to know. You put out these albums, and maybe you're like a lot of musicians that I meet, where it's not even really about that you hope that you get famous anymore, or that you hope that you strike it big, or that you get recognition for these songs. But do you do it just out of the love of putting out the songs, or what do you hope?
I think you are what you are.
From here on out?
As one of my songs says, its lyrics, you got to be what you am. So if you were born to play music, then just play the damn music. Here's the whole ticket. For most, figuring out who you are. And I think a lot of people never do. I mean, if you're a little LeBron James, you figure it out. Well, maybe eventually you figure out, well, I'm supposed to be a guitar player. But I think that's the whole purpose of it. And for a lot of people, it doesn't really happen, and it just doesn't become clear. So if it does become clear, then you just go ahead and do it and don't think about it. So I don't care, what AI does. I don't care whatever. I just got to do what I do, and you got to play live sometimes. So. I'm going up to Bistro.
I'm so glad that you found the Mojo Lounge and started to play live with me, because it has been nothing but a treat, and hopefully we'll share a stage one day in the near future again. I wish I could be there for Eddie's show coming up. Is that tomorrow night, you said?
Tomorrow night. We'll if there's a video, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, I love it. And all right, John. Well, I thank you so much for doing this and for having this conversation with me.
It's a pleasure. I think it's important for you, and I wish you success in doing this.
Yeah, I love it, and I will certainly share more songs if you don't mind with.
No, I'd like that. Plug me.
Wide Open Mic community, and hopefully you just get a flood of streams and messages, for shows after this.
Yeah, at least all from your mother.
Followers yet, so you might not get a few phone calls for a while, but we'll see.
Okay, I'll hold my breath.
Hey, John, I very much appreciate talking to you like always, man, and I'll see you soon.
Have a good one, Martin. Bye-bye.
John, take care.
Gardens of my memory, where I spend so much time. The colors so fantastic and the verses easily rhyme. Countless scenes of yesterdreams replay by the hour, and I'd just like to say before my thoughts start to stray, she was a delicate flower, such a delicate flower.